Mr. McNeil, why are you running for President of the United States?
I'm running for president because I'm a free-thinking American citizen who's concerned about the direction our country is heading and feel a duty to change it. To do that, I have created a plan that will shift the balance of power away from Congress and return it to the people, as the Founding Fathers intended. You won't hear anything like it from any other presidential candidate.
Tell us about your platform.
My platform is based on three principles. The first is personal responsibility, which means that each of us has an obligation to wake up every day, go to work, and provide those things necessary for the well-being of ourselves and our families. The second is self-determination, which refers to my plan to reduce government's involvement in our daily lives. The third is restoration of freedom to all American citizens, which implies that we have lost many of the freedoms provided to us in the Constitution. My plan restores those freedoms.
How do you plan to reduce the federal government's involvement in our daily lives?
It starts with the restoration of economic freedom, which was taken from us in 1913 when the 16th Amendment to the Constitution came into being. That amendment gave us the complex and unfair income tax system that we have today. Over the last 95 years, Congress has modified the tax code many times, resulting in more of our money being sent to Washington to be spent on programs that don't work, while providing tax loopholes to special interest groups.
That gives us a little historical perspective, but how do you plan to actually change the system?
It is obvious to any free-thinking person that we can't count on Congress to restore our economic freedom. So using the powers granted to the President under Article 2 of the Constitution, I will sign a Proclamation of Freedom on January 20th, which will return approximately $2 trillion tax dollars to the American people. The effect is that you will never again have your wages garnished, bank accounts emptied, or be threatened with imprisonment for failing to report income or pay your taxes. There's an old saying that he who holds the money holds the power. My plan increases the power of the American people and weakens the power of Congress.
This will create a radical change.
Not radical, revolutionary. Instead of sending your money to Washington, it will remain in your community. And as Martin Luther King said many years ago, a rising tide lifts all boats. Under my plan, when you bring home 100% of your paycheck, you will be free to spend it, save it, invest it, or donate it to charity as you choose. That economic activity will generate a level of prosperity never before seen in our lifetimes. In addition, the local, county, and state governments will see a huge increase in tax revenues generated by the increased activity.
But how will we continue to pay for the services that the federal government provides under our current system?
As it turns out, the federal government never had the authority to provide most of those services, but I'll save that discussion for another video when I talk about the enumerated powers in the Constitution.